Hey guys, Old Guy Gaming here, back again with another MTG Arena deck review of the starter decks. Tonight we're going to be covering over Eternal Thirst, a neat little black and white life gain deck that comes with some pretty cool cards in it. I myself have been unsuccessfully trying to build a mono-white life deck. It's probably one of the most frustrating decks I've ever tried to build, because I think it should work, but it just never seems to do it on the table, so we'll see that one later. So anyway, let's kind of review the deck and see what's in it. We come with 2 copies of Ajani's Welcome. Every time a creature comes into play, you gain life. This is going to start firing off a lot of the life gain triggers that are inside the deck itself. Moment of Triumph also gives you some additional life gain, but also gives a creature +2, so it's a cute little combat trick as well. Nightmare Thirst allows you to give a -X to any particular creature for the amount of life you've gained this turn, so this can be good, especially as you're adding up all of the life gain triggers that you're getting into this deck, so kind of cool. Maybe. Ajani's Pridemate is a staple in any life gain deck. Every time you gain life, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It gets pretty frightening relatively quick, to be honest. So these are usually this is usually your heavy hitter. If you're going to win games, this is going to be the one that kind of wins it for you. And he's going to be awfully big when he does so. He's also got a huge target on his back. Bishop Soldier is just another vampire in the deck. There's a lot of vampire synergies in this deck as well. So coming in at a 2/2 life linker and gaining life, and more triggers. Paladin of Atonement is another vampire. This one at the beginning of your upkeep, if you lost life this turn, puts a +1/+1 counter on it. Interesting with this one because everything else seems to be about you gaining life, but I guess if you've gained so much life you can take some damage. He kind of gets bigger, so it is kind of interesting. We'll see how that plays out. You only get one of them though. Also when he dies, you gain life equal to his toughness, so more life gain triggers. Legion Lieutenant is a staple in any vampire deck. It is your Anthem ability to allow you to get your vampires bigger and bigger. So as you're creating tokens, most of these creatures are all vampires. They're going to be much bigger on the table with this guy on the board. Inspiring Cleric is another vampire, and when it enters the battlefield, it gives you a 4 life. 3/2, and that's not bad actually. Resplendent Angel, an awesome mythic, pretty much a standard in a lot of decks out there. Not really a vampire. It can have the ability to get lifelink for a turn. The cool part about it is if you gain more life, you're just creating more and more angels. So if Ajani Pridemate isn't winning the game for you, the angel in this thing as it's creating, the angels it's creating will help you win those games with flying creatures. Murder is just straight murder. Killing creatures is fun. Anything that gets so big or gets in your way, just murder it and get it out of the way. Skymarch Bloodletter is another vampire, so you've got your vampire synergies, and whenever it enters the play, you gain life and your opponent loses life. So this is more based on the vampire synergies in the deck. The Leonin Warleader is kind of cool. As it comes in, it's a 4/4, and when it attacks, it creates 2 lifelinking vampires that come out into play. Or they're just cat creatures, I'm sorry. They're 2 lifelinking cat creatures that come into play, and they're already attacking, and they have lifelink. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to do nothing, but they're just going to gain you life as they go in. Sanctum Seeker. Okay, so this is another cool one. As each time each vampires that you control attacks, your opponent loses life and gains life. Now that's automatic damage. Whether they do any damage or not, whether they hit or anything, it doesn't matter. As long as you're attacking with a bunch of vampires, you're gaining life off of this. So this is a really cool card. Vraska's Contempt. We all know how good this card is. This handles planeswalkers, anything really, as far as anything that's a creature or a planeswalker on the board, and you gain life in the process, so fires off all those triggers. Fantastic card, and you get one for free in this deck. So you're getting Sanctum Seeker, which is a rare, Vraska's Contempt, which is a rare, Resplendent Angel, which is a mythic, and then you get the other Paladin of Atonement, which is a rare. So there's a lot of cool stuff in this deck. Call of the Feast just creates 3 1/1 vampire creatures that all have lifelink. Herald of Faith, another one that when it comes into play gains life, and it's a nice little flying angel on top of that. Champion of Dusk, another rare, another vampire, and when he enters the battlefield, you draw X cards when lose X life, where X is the number of vampires you control. But since you have so much life, it's really not going to be that big of a deal when he comes in. Epicure of Blood, there is a deck waiting to be built with this one. So whenever you gain life, you lose life. Your opponent loses life. So all of the life gain triggers you have, this guy's just going to keep filtering through and draining more life. And Vampire Sovereign, another cool one, also matching with the Vampire synergies when it comes into play. This is basically the upgraded version of the Skymarch Bloodletter. This is a 2/2 flying. It does 1 damage, and you gain life. This is the 3/4 version, and it does 3 damage, and you gain 3 life. 10 swamps, 10 plains, 4 of the tapped lands coming up, the Forsaken Sanctuaries, and 1 of the rare isolated chapels to top off the deck. So let's see how this deck does. Because I see a lot of people... Oh, and real quick, if we want to get into it, I know if you guys watched my previous video, you watched me open 69 packs of Arena, and what did it earn me? So I'd already done the mono green Stompy deck. This one is basically unchanged from the last time I've done it. It's basically my breadwinner. This is the one that I win most of my decks with. But after doing all of those pack openings, I was able to polish off my mono red deck. Highly competitive red deck. Love this deck. I did the budget, quote unquote budget, mono blue tempo deck in here. Got all the cards for that. I'm working on trying to figure out this mono white life gain deck. I'm trying to figure out a mono black deck. These two decks are kind of in the works. But I ended up getting a really competitive Dremir Turbo Surveil deck as well. So all those packs that and I still have wild cards I still haven't used. Not a lot, because I built quite a few decks out of all the stuff I got. So it does go to show if you put a little bit of money into it, you can get some stuff into it. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, let's go ahead and play the deck. So no, we are not playing that. We are playing Eternal Thirst. I think this is really... I mean, I think the mono-white version of the life gain deck, I just can't seem to get it to work. It seems like everyone's played it enough that they know all of the good cards in it, they know the stuff to kill, and it just doesn't seem to do very well. Vampires, however, on the other hand, this can go wide really fast. Not a lot of creatures in the opening hand. I think I might pass on this. Yeah, I think I'm going to pass. Thank you, RNG. So, no more, like all my high-end creatures. I'm going to go one more, and that's as low as I go. Okay, so this is, I'm kind of stuck with this one. Sure. Ugh. So super disappointing to get. Be a gentleman and say hello. So I know I've seen this conversation had. I'm one of the members of the MTG Arena Players Facebook. And I know this comes up like every other day. Every other day. Here's a random RNG that happened to me today. Look how much this stung. I hear you. Every single time, and I do mean every single time I mulligan on a bad hand like that, I end up getting much worse. Yep, no, we're going to end up eating that in the face. I think I might drop this instead. Well, either one's going to die. Yeah, this has got flying. I like some of the... Ooh, now that's cool. Does look like he's playing like a budget Izzet deck, maybe. Oh, I was expecting counterburn, but no, that did not happen. Okay, I'm right with that. So on the next one, assuming this thing's still on the table, I feel a shock coming. Or Wizard's Lightning. That'll work too. He's a wizard, so it's a lightning bolt for all intents and purposes. That's where you come in, my friend. You are lightning proof, bolt free. He needs to spend 2 spells to kill you. And he's top down. Okay. So all I need is a land to really keep being competitive in this game. Come on, RNG. You want to help me out here? Watch it be a tapped land. It's going to give me a land, but it's going to give me a tapped dual land. Love the art on this. No, but Ajani's Pridemate. He's bolt bait. I think I'm going to hold on him. He's just deciding which direct burn spell he's going to use to kill my Inspiring Cleric. See? What did I tell you about the tap land? Alright, let's try... we need to try to stay competitive. Let's try the Ajani's Pridemate. Oh, wait. Syncopate? Wizard's Retort. Lovely. So this is a very budget counterburn, is it, tech? Not seeing things like Ionize or things like that yet, but They're probably in there. Super annoying when you can't play anything. Gutter Snipe. Love, love, love this card. Love this card. My goodness. Okay. So we might be getting to the point where he may have burned off his big spells, I hope. And that maybe the Warleader survives. He's sifting for burn. That's fine. The upside is I don't know any burn spells at 2 that he can cast to kill it. Siobhan's Fire. Now that I'm thinking about it. Didn't he have... What did he have? No. No. We'll see how this goes. Come on. Come on. So he's got something... He's got a shock in his hand. So... No. He's trying to bait me into losing this. And I'm okay with what just happened there. I'm alright with that. Because I'm going to do this. I'm going to gain most of what I just lost back. And then I'm going to do this. So either way, I'm gaining the life here. And I'm going to do... Yeah, no, I'm much happier with that result. It may have been worth it to kill the Gutter Snipe, but I'm not convinced that that's the right answer. A murder would be lovely right now. I love playing blue decks. Let me count the ways. The upside is I get to do this again. And then I'll do that. I mean, he's going to bolt it, but it'll be fun. If he's got a shock in his hand, I know where it's going. Close game. Banefire. There it is. There it is. Yeah, I was going to say you don't want to do that. Interesting choice. Yeah, no, I recognize what he's got in his hand. I know he can kill it, but I wanted the life gain. I need to kind of stay in this game. So he'll cast that. He'll kill her, and then I'll cast that. He's hoping for more burn. Enigma Drake. Lovely. The upside to Enigma Drake. Well, no, he's gonna... No? Oh, this is so delicious. I need to make sure I do this right. So I need to go one of these. One of these. One of these. And then I'm going to make him block me. Probably should have done that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have murdered that, but I'm trying to prevent the damage. Interesting. Okay. Now he's going to do that. And he doesn't have the mana to cast. No, he does. Okay. I'm not sure I understand that. Okay, interesting. That's not what I would have done. Does that have to... I'd have to go back and look at that spell. I thought he could have done the damage to the angel and prevented me from doing that. Okay. I'll take it. Woohoo! Red and blue spells. Yeah, wrong one. That's just the win. Alright, we'll get one more game in with that one. That was an interesting game. That really could have... I think he really had the opportunity to win that game. And I really probably should have killed the Enigma Drake. It had way more possibilities of doing way more damage. Oh, come on. 2 Ajani's Pridemates that are going to get burned. Yeah, maybe. Yawn. Green. I see you're a gentleman and a scholar. I will take the Ajani's welcome. That's actually a very welcome sight to see that. Because if he doesn't obviously have direct burn, these are going to come in at 3/3s. Yes. Is there ever an instance where I wouldn't take that action? True to the cow. He's ramping into something big. And I've got a murder on board. And he quit. He quit. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Alright, that's not a good... Play the game out, okay? I mean, don't let me wrong. I'll take free wins. I think that's one thing. If I have to make one commentary on Arena, if I were playing that game on the table, my opponent would not have quit. 3 turns in, I've put 2 creatures down and attacked you once. That game would not be over on the table. Whereas Arena, some people get so frustrated by seeing certain decks that they are so quick to just drop the game and go play another one. And I think that's one of the behaviors I'm not entirely sure is a good influence on, especially new Magic players, where they're just like, yeah, no, I'll quit and go play another one. Yeah, no, not feeling that. Okay. I don't have a turn 1 play, but that's okay. I can get that in. Oh, for God's sakes. We knew this was going to come. If you don't know, this is going to be Merfolk. Can't wait to actually do the deck tech on the playable one. Is easily one of the best decks that come in the free-to-play version. Curious Obsession. So I have this deck. I know exactly what this deck is like. You, sir, are getting murdered. So we'll do Isolated Chapel, we'll do Bishop. I mean, he wants to sit there and keep doing it. We can trade blows back and forth. The upside, of course, is he's getting the draws. I am not. Let's see how far this goes. Yeah. Yeah, about that. Let's... I really, really want to kill his critter. Let's see what happens. I just don't want to keep allowing him to have the card draw. Okay. Now that I know you can't counter this, you and your unblockable merfolk can go away. Yep. Merfolk are good. They were good in Ixalan. They are still good. Oh, for Pete's sake. You're supposed to do that on... Well, I guess you can do it. Nah. Well, at least we've pulled 2 of those out of his hand. Unfortunately, I'm going to be eating 5 life because of it. Yep. Okie dokie. So, I need creatures on the board as much as I want to murder that thing. I need to wait. Because I really want to murder his Merfolk Mistbind. Oh, come on! This is getting frustrating. At least he doesn't have 90 Merfolk while he's doing it. Well, he's already got this game. How many times can he return crap to my hand? So here's the problem. Well, I need to cast 2 creatures. I need that to go down. And I need that to go down. Because he's going to do 2 damage to me no matter what. If I can just have a turn where I have things that stay on the board long enough. Nice. Very nice. I tip my hat to you, Merfolk deck. You're super annoying to play against. Okay, so we got one good game. We've got one I put 2 creatures down and win, and then we got to see what the Merfolk deck is coming up looking like. So I do hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments how you would improve on this deck. So there's quite a few things. For me, I think the way to go for this one is to make it a straight-up black-white vampires deck. So while that does mean getting rid of things like Ajani's Pridemate, I think there are vampires in here to do well. I would definitely move on to... where are they at? I'd go for 4 of these, simply because of the amount of life gain. And whenever you combine that between this and 4 Sanctum Seekers, it gets hysterical. Instead of Ajani's... Well, maybe keep the Ajani's Welcome, but the Moment of Triumphs I'd be replacing with Legion's Landing. Let's go ahead and pull that out. Oh, come on. I know I own that card. Yeah, so I'd replace that with Legion's Landing to help you create more vampires. Yeah, maybe this one's kind of okay. I don't know that I hang on to this. The Pridemates, while they're not vampires, maybe keep them in. I'm more inclined to go with the more vampires because you begin to fire off on all these. You have to upgrade these to 4 of these. You need 4 of these inside this deck. Other vampires that are flying, like there's so many good ones. I do like the idea of the removal, so... This one maybe, but replaced it maybe with Cast Out. Maybe, well, you can't do Walk the Planks, but there's some other removal tools you can add into this. So if it were me, I'd remove some of these creatures that are non-vampires and just replace them with something of similar size of vampire. The vampire synergies are going to be there. Whenever you're attacking, you're doing damage, you're draining life and doing damage. I mean, it gets pretty ridiculous. Definitely bump up to 4 with Call of the Feast as well. So yeah, anything that isn't a vampire, drop out. The other one that you want to look for is Dusk Legion Zealot. Where is she? That's actually a pretty good addition to this. I know I own at least 3 of them. cannot find her. She is the mythic from Ixalan. No, I must not own it. How do I not own that? Oh, that's right, the resets. Forgot about that. So let's just go black. Pull the white out. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I can't find her. She's in here somewhere. You'll know the one I'm talking about because my memory is old and I'm old and can't remember the name of the damn. Where is she? Is she 3? I thought she was only 2. Maybe she's 4. Da, 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 da. All right, I'm going to give up here in 30 seconds if I don't find it. Keep looking, keep looking. I'm in the right area. Yeah, no, I don't. Oh, but there she is, Twilight Prophet. That's the one I'm looking for. Fantastic addition to this deck as well, as she is a vampire. Doesn't necessarily go in with all of the life gaining, but she is a fantastic creature to add in because you will get Ascend relatively quickly with all the vampire tokens. There's also spells in there. Like, we all have Call the Feast in there, but there's another one that just drops out 2 white vampires with lifelink. So that's the direction I would go to upgrade this deck and creating it to a far more competitive deck. So I'm going to actually try that out in a later video. So I do hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. If you are so inclined, don't feel needed to, but if you do feel inclined, I do have a Patreon as well. That is patreon.com/oldguygamingmtga. So I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you again next time, guys, in the arena.